not to let flights land.
Okay.
So please.
Si wanasema
na hii background tu dakika moja.
It works well for us.
Yeah, it works well.
Yo. Chris, niache. Sauti iko sawa.
Na hadi this unajua weekend kila mtu anahitaji weekend.
Nitaweza kushika zote. Mpatie.
Kama Tanzania hapa.
Bossman, how are you? Where is Wangoi?
Wangoi?
No, sawa.
Wangoi? Okay.
That is what Wangoi was avoiding, that noise. Lakini sawa. Okay, I think we will make this very brief because there isn't much to say at the moment. First of all, thank you so much for coming. We are all very saddened that our security officers were involved in an accident in Meru while they were on their way to Marsabit for a meeting. For the last about 1 week or so, we have been having a conflict on the border of Marsabit and Wajir. We took a decision early in the week that we will have the two regional security teams on the ground. The regional security team from Northeastern and the regional security team from Eastern. But for the last 2 days, we have been trying to go there. We couldn't make it because of bad weather. So today, we decided to try to get to Marsabit and have a meeting there. We had 2 aircrafts. We sent one to Garissa to pick the Northeastern Regional Security Team and one to Embu to pick the Eastern Region Security Team. So our colleagues from Garissa arrived at the destination safely. Our colleagues from Embu, the team comprising 4 security officers, the Regional Commissioner, Mr. Nakoru, and his team, the Regional Police Commander, the Regional Criminal Investigations Officer, and the Regional National Intelligence Officer, did not make it to the site because of the accident that took place. We thank God that although our colleagues are injured, 4 of them not very critically, they are out of danger. They have been flown to Nairobi. One of them, our Regional Commissioner for Eastern, Mr. Isaiah Nakoru, is critically injured. He has been undergoing a procedure at the hospital, but we have been told, thankfully, that his condition is stabilizing. Our colleagues from the Air Force are going for him, and they will bring him to Nairobi later this evening. We have been in touch with our colleagues at the Ministry of Transport, the Minister and the Kenya Civil Aviation. Yeah, I think we can continue. So the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority is investigating the accident, and we will know shortly what actually happened and why the accident. But as I said, we thank God our colleagues are safe. Some of them are out of danger. One of them is critically injured. Therefore, the mission aborted. The meeting did not happen because we had only one team from the Northeastern region present, but we will continue. We have pulled in teams from the areas who are able to move on the ground faster to get to the site. The Inspector General of Police and I have had this discussion since morning. We are going to continue enhancing the deployment we need to do in that part of our country. I, however, need to say this. Like all leaders in this country, I am actually fairly sad that that part of the country has caused us so many public officials. You all know, we in the Ministry of Interior are the ones who are paid the highest price because of the conflict around Marsabit area and that part of. That is how we lost even our Assistant Minister for Interior, the late Meru. That's how we lost so many members of Parliament. We have lost 2 county commissioners there. We have lost our regional commissioner, the late Mr. Chelanga. We have lost senior police officers in that area. We have lost almost 3 planes in that side when everybody tries to find a solution in that part of the country. We are now increasingly convinced that we need to change our doctrine of internal security on that particular part of the country. And I'm sending this message to our leaders, especially from that part of the country. We cannot continue this way. This is it. We cannot go on this way. Where people start all manner of conflict, some of it has got nothing to do with the people themselves. Half of it is just political. And people are incited, on lines that we do not understand. How long? I mean, the conflicts, things do happen in various parts of the country. There are times, we have a few boundary disputes here and there. We are blessed as a country because we have a system that has worked in many parts of our country. We have a system of elders, chiefs, assistant chiefs, nyumba kumi, community elders. Everywhere else in this country, by the way, we always mediate conflicts through that method. We had a challenge the other day on the border of Nakuru and Narok. We have sorted the problem out because the leaders in that part of the country have called in their people, called in the elders, they have sat down, sorted out the matter. I've even traveled with some of you before when we had challenges between West Pokot and Elgeyo Marakwet. Elected leaders in that part of the country have sat down, they have quietly worked with their people using local systems of management, and the conflicts have been sorted out. You don't hear those things these days. But almost every so often, Marsabit and its environment causes us this. Every time, it is a violent conflict, harming people, clan-related tensions that finally are very costly to us as a country. We lose lives. We could very easily have lost, our senior officers, like we have done in the past. So we cannot go on this way, honestly. We are going to relook at our approach to this. We have started effective and even much better deployment in that area. And I must say, quite frankly, that we are going to have to change our doctrine of internal security in that part of the country. For how long? How many more officers are we going to lose? For how long? You all know, you are in this country. That is where we lost, almost 7 members of parliament. For how long are we going to live that way? Where for them, conflict is war. Disagreement is solved through violence by arming local populations and so on and so forth. We are deploying and we are beginning now a very stiff effort to bring about sanity on that border. And everyone should understand. I am requesting everyone to understand. We are not going to be very merciful, and we are not going to engage in many negotiations in sorting out that problem, because we are not going to continue living this way. Sasawa.
Waziri, specifically, which method do you intend to implement in order to...
We bring everybody to face the law. I mean, that is what it is. I think sometimes that even some political leaders have escaped because they have never been brought to justice. They have never faced the full force of the law. Sometimes these things happen and, people play games around, they pretend, and then politics is played up, some people escape. Then after some days, they go back again to incite people. So, you see, we have to be very honest about this issue. If some of the people who are involved, and clearly, our security teams has been working. It's not that we have not held meetings with some of these people. I've held countless meetings myself in Arambe House with leaders of that part of the country. Every time we keep telling them, look, there will always be conflict, because when you live with your neighbors, you will not agree all the time. When you don't agree even on a matter of development, you sit around the table and resolve it. That's how civilized societies live. There's no society anywhere on earth that doesn't have a conflict. I mean, not everyone will agree with you every day. When there is an issue, you sit down with people and you discuss with them. But you do not harm populations and tell them that the best thing is kill those other ones. And then now you force us to get to this point. We could have again lost, another group of senior police officers senselessly, the way we have done before. You were here, many of you, the morning when, a military helicopter crashed with 7 of our leaders, including our assistant minister, the regional commissioner, police commander, and everybody. And we lost all the leaders because of this same conflict. We have done everything we could as government in terms of persuading people. Please sit down with the populations. People will always raise questions. I mean, we are there as leaders to resolve them. If today you're arguing with him, the best thing for me to do as a leader is not to give you a gun and tell you to kill him, is to call you to the table and say, look, we are brothers and sisters, we're in one family. Now we have differences of opinion. Let us find a solution to them. But some political leaders in that part of the country don't think that way. They think that the best way to achieve some level of heroism or to achieve some sort of political supremacy is by arming one group against another group. And then they play games around, and sometimes they negotiate their way out. This time round, we want to make sure that they face the full force of the law. The day a political leader, including elected leaders, are jailed for this kind of thing, and I believe when we go before the courts, they will listen to us, we will present our evidence.
When do you expect to go to court? And
No, we are going to work on this matter. As I've said, we have to change our approach. Surely we can't be losing officers every day to this kind of thing.
What is the security status in Bagasa and Songa? Because recently I understand that at least 4 people were killed in the area, and it's part of what you're addressing.
No, you see, the activities we have in that part of the country, as you all know, from time to time, we will have local conflicts, or what I may call localized conflicts. Some of them are over livestock, some of them are over grazing lands, and so on. We have over the years developed mechanisms, and let me tell you, why this incident saddens is that I know there are so many leaders, especially from the northeastern part of the country, who have spent so much time working with their communities to reduce the level of conflict. The governors who have been in meetings with us from time to time, we have quietly been working on this. Sometimes we work away from the public, but we work quietly, with these leaders to find localized solutions to problems, negotiations, bring teams of elders. That has happened. Occasionally, when it will escalate, and we have challenges such as you are describing in Badasa, we come across, we investigate, and fortunately these communities have got internal mechanisms of resolving the issues. We resolve them. Where it is very disturbing, as I'm telling you, is a case like the one we are dealing with right now, where you feel actually that the conflict or the issue we are dealing with could very easily be resolved by a leader sitting around the table. But now, instead of doing that, some leaders get into communities and start inciting groups against each other. When you go into this thing, you discover clearly, and I'm not shy to say this, the bulk of it is a clan conflict. It's essentially a clan conflict. Where one clan is fighting and then they're inciting each other. The leaders are inciting their people. I mean, all of us, when we have differences, we sit round the table and resolve them.
Was it we have had several accidents.
That's the last one.
That's the last
Yes. Would we attribute this to weather patterns, because it cannot be checking on each now and then and do not?
I don't want to speculate. I'll wait for the Kenya Civil Aviation to tell us what exactly happened. Let's be methodical and let's be serious about this. Yeah.
One more question. At the end of the day, the officers and the general public will be asking themselves one simple question. The National Police Air Wing, does it have functional helicopters and equipment that can make sure that we are able to get the general security, and in terms of even the officers themselves? Because we've seen reports saying that if you look at, for instance, this helicopter was bought in 2015. We're talking about a 5-year-old helicopter. And we've seen cases of that it has gone for sort of overhaul and all that sort of. What is the general state of our aviation in terms of policy?
My friend, we look, I want to plead with you. Don't be driven to rumor mongering and so on. We are very well equipped. In the last 3 years, when we have been having challenges related to floods, food distribution, relief work and so on, we have worked with our teams very successfully and moved everywhere in this country. Everywhere in this country. I mean, my colleague Eugene Omalo was in Tana River yesterday, flown there by the police. We are the ones who have been backing up the Ministry of Devolution, the State Department for Special Programs, working jointly with the Kenya Air Force and, so many actors. We have gone through a difficult season, and, this year, by the way, we were blessed to have rains for almost 8 months consistently. And everywhere in the country, from Budalangi to Tana River, from Lamu to Busia, we have always moved our teams and our security teams without a problem at all. And we have supported government functions. We do not have any problem at all with our police air wing. We have sufficient resources for time being. We would like to have more, but we all understand our resource constraints. But we are much better equipped than we were before. And when an accident happens, it's an accident. And accidents happen everywhere on earth. An accident is an accident. Let's not, use this sad opportunity to now start irrelevant speculations. Accidents happen everywhere. I mean, planes come down, they go into the ocean, and you are told the plane is 3 months old. It's brand new, and that's it. So, my brother, let's focus on the challenge we have right now at hand. We have no problem at all. And we all have confidence in the work that our Inspector General and his police air wing have been doing. They have served us well, and we continue to provide support and service to the people of Kenya. Let's deal with the challenge we have. And the challenge, as I've told you, is all of us as Kenyans. Let us encourage our brothers and sisters in that part of the country, Marsabit, Wajir, and everyone else, to live the way we all live, that we mediate and discuss our conflict, so that we don't get here where we lose our people. Thanks.
On the toilet.